How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. So I wanted to show y'all my process when it comes to painting stuff. I have a 3D printer and my girlfriend prints stuff that I ask her to, and then I go ahead and paint it up, add it to my diorama. So a lot of the stuff in my diorama when I'm filming my videos is stuff that was printed and painted. So I think it's fun. I think it's just a little fun little video to show y'all a good way to relax, get some steam off, which is painting. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get into it.
Happy little trees. Happy little trees. So happy.
So I've got some stuff here that my partner 3D printed. See, we've already started this one, but I need to finish this up with the black wash, and then we got another container. But I also have this like dolly thing in a toolbox. So I'm going to paint these up. I'm going to show you all my process in bits and pieces. I'm not going to do a whole thing and fast forward or whatever, but I'll show y'all my process. So for something like this, I already painted it brown, so it's already got that kind of wood look, but the lid needs a black wash like this part has. Let me fix the lighting a little bit. You can see that. So different shades, of course. This is good for black wash. This is Panaline Accent Color Black. And sorry, let me move this up. I'm trying to get the lighting better so y'all can actually see what I'm talking about. So this is just a panel liner, and it's just like some really thin black that you would take, kind of brush across, and that's one way to do it. Or you could just put a bunch on there and then take a paintbrush and kind of spread it around that way, just to make it look a little bit more worn, a little bit more wood patterned. And that's usually my process when it comes to black wash for stuff like this, like boxes or crates or anything wood. Kind of just get some on there and spread it around, get it in the grooves, the nooks and crannies, and kind of just try to make it look more like wood, essentially, because it's supposed to emulate a wooden crate. So doing that, the more the better in some cases, not always, but when it comes to wood, you can never have too much black wash, in my opinion. You can really get in those crannies, spread it around, and it'll start to look more like wood as opposed to just a brown piece of plastic. You could even do the sides and the back if you want. Just gonna put it on there. And yeah, that's really it. I'll show you all the finished product, obviously, but that is what I'm gonna do first, is get that looking the way I want it. And then we got something a little bit more complicated like this. And this is going to require multiple different types of color, like probably silver around here, black on the wheels and all that stuff. So this will be a product or process. So I'm going to start with the base and we'll go from there. And of course, a good base for something like this, as far as that is concerned, is brown, because this part I want it to be brown anyway. So you can just go in there with a base color of brown, get that covered nice and good. This will obviously be silver. But, you know, for me, it's like, okay, so this is like a wooden reinforced dolly, right? Because it'll have silver around the rims and all that stuff. So if you just get the base color in there, it'll make it easier to paint the other stuff, is my thinking. So kind of just get the brown going all over it. This guy's got the right idea. He wore his brown pants. And then, you know, cover it, let it dry, and we'll move on to something else in the meantime before we keep going, because obviously it'll have to dry. I don't want to mess it up or anything, but you know, whatever you paint doesn't matter. Get the bottom too, because you can paint over paint, and it doesn't matter if it's a little bit of a darker base, because all the other colors except for the silver are going to be dark anyway. We got black. I won't paint that, but I think it'll look good by the end. I do need to get a cup with some acetone and be able to drain this or clean my brush in between. Sorry, I'll try to keep it in frame. And the thing about painting this is you don't have to have it all be an even texture because wood has like different grains and stuff. So you can mix up your strokes as long as you're not uncovering another part by doing that. So it kind of just looks more like, oh, that's some wood right there. And I'll definitely like try to lighten this up, put some other colors into it. But right now the base brown works for what I need it for. The sides are going to be silver. The wheel cart part like there is going to be silver. The handle's going to be silver. And the wheels are going to be black. So we're just going to go one step at a time and move on to something else while it dries. And that's just how I like to do it. That's just how I like to do it. So we'll get that done. Cover as much as possible the first run through so you're not missing anything. And this is kind of therapeutic for me too. I like painting. I haven't done it in a while. So when I asked her to 3D print some stuff, she's like, you gotta paint it. I was like, you know, I will do it. It's fun for me, but I've never like recorded the process. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but either way, it's still fun for me. And then getting to talk about my process is also relaxing. So yeah, smash like if you like painting little diorama pieces, or if you like watching it. Got a little shot glass of water because you have to rinse your brushes in between, otherwise you'll just start mixing colors. And there's other ways you can use like acetone or whatever, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Get as much of the brown out as I can because we're gonna move on to the toolbox, which I'm gonna paint red, and then I'm gonna put like a silver wash on it, and obviously paint that part silver, the handle. But we're gonna move on once we get this brush clean. And I'm no artist, so my process is probably flawed, but if you have any tips, let me know. All right, so moving on to the next thing. It's okay if your paintbrush is a little wet. It'll just thin your paints out a little bit. Painting the toolbox red. I'm gonna paint the whole thing, and then I will eventually paint the silver over it. But I figure toolbox red. Let's do it. Because those little buckle parts need to be red anyway, and then just the handle will be silver. And then I'll put the latch silver on the front and ding it up a little bit with some silver, kind of like a silver wash, but not really because I don't have a silver wash. But so you can see the water is definitely taking its toll and not bringing that color through solid. So if you do a couple of passes the first time, it's not a big deal. It'll even out. It all comes out in the whoosh, right? I probably will not paint the bottom right away just because I have to set it down and I don't want it to be like, oh. But this is fun. I like doing this. I like flexing my creative muscle in this way because it's pretty much the most I can do other than my videos. But yeah, I'll be going back and forth in between drying and all that stuff, and I will work on these and we'll touch base as I go. There's a little bit more progress so y'all can see what I'm going for. Still need to touch up the silver, do the wheels black, give it a wash, and then paint this whole part silver, but it's getting there. I have to use this paint pen and I have to like dab it and then spread it because I don't have silver paint, but it works. I'll get there. Just let that dry and move on to the next thing for a little while. As you can see, we're getting a little further. I painted the wheels, waiting for the silver to dry so we can paint some more silver on there. I think it's looking all right. I think it's looking pretty okay. Definitely some spots I missed. I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't know how to fix it from this angle. I don't know what I need to do to make it better other than just like straight up hold a light onto it. There we go. But you can see wheels are black. We're getting the brakes or the whatever those things are called that hold the wheels on there painted, so it's looking better. So you can see how far I've gotten on this. We're getting there. I just got to finish painting this, do some touch-up work, and then I'll give it a wash and that'll be done. This is pretty much done. It just needs a clear coat at this point. I made it a little bit darker, partially because I messed up, partially because Why not? Oh God. Don't want to drop stuff, but there's a spot right there I missed. Let's fix that really quick. Got some red on you. Then we can kind of texturize that a little bit. Put that lid back on there, and that's pretty much done. And then it'll get a clear coat when it's finished drying, which is a matte clear coat right here. So yeah, we're getting there, folks. So this is pretty much done now. I just gotta wait for it to dry, do some touch up, and then do a black wash on it and seal it, and that'll be done. This one is done. It is painted, sealed, all that stuff. It's just a little bit more drying to do, and that one will be good to go. And then the toolbox is the last step for painting. So here is the first finished piece. It's wet, it's washed, it's painted, it looks like wood in my opinion. You can open it, you can close it, you can put accessories inside there, whatever you want in there. And yeah, I think I did a great job. Tooting my own horn, toot toot. But it was a lot of fun to paint this, and I really like it. And yeah, it's just fun. 3D printing stuff, painting it, making it look the way you want to. Always a freaking blast, in my opinion. Same thing with this cart, dolly, whatever you want to call it. Of course, you can also put stuff on top of it for your dioramas, but you know, I painted it, gave it a wash, painted the tires, all that stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just sitting in the background of my dioramas. But once again, it was fun to do. My girlfriend painted it. I still have a shelf right here that I have to cut out and put together, but that's for another day. I'm not going to do that right now. That's going to take a lot of work. But this, I'm proud of. I can put, you know, that on top of it. And I really like the way it turned out. And it works, and it's great. And yeah, we should totally open up an Etsy. If she prints stuff and I paint it, we can sell it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then the last thing I painted today was this toolbox. I really like it. I think it looks cool. Red, silver, that's really all there is. A little bit of wash, a little bit of weathering with the silver. Looks like it's been beat up, used a lot. Yeah, it's not perfect, but like I said, sitting in the background of the diorama, it just works. It just works. So yeah, there's a couple of things I painted. I hope you like this video. I know it wasn't too thorough with the process, but it's kind of self-explanatory once I explain the basics of what I'm doing. So yeah, if y'all like this video, make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, become a channel member for 99 cents for early reviews, live streams, and other perks and goodies. Consider doing all that. Comment, let me know if you've done any painting recently, if you have a 3D printer, what you would like to do artistically. Just let me know. Say hey. Do all that stuff. Keep your head up. Stay brave. Be kind to your local LGBTQ community. If you're protesting, be extra super duper safe. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Thank you for 4K.
And if I say it loud enough, I can't hear their unhappy little screams. Hey, you! Let's practice cloud smudges using just our fingers. Happy clouds.
Just wait 1 minute. I'm watching this new Rowdy Rolls video and it's really awesome. I don't want to miss it.
It's like this chick that reviews action figures and it's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think they saw some videos and there's some really good contents out there, you know?
She reviews the ponies and stuff because you knows I love ponies.
She doesn't review ponies. It's freaking cool stuff, Toki.